Hi, this is George at Fun with Flies. Today's project is one of the groups is asking for something done in white. So I think I've got an idea of what I'd like to try. I'm going to try a silverfish. I wanted to do one of these for a while. So I got a three quarter inch hook. So we're going to do taking back. Normally I go through a process where I'll do some drawing and I'll do some sketching, but I got a pretty good idea on this one. So there we go. So I'm going to start the thread at the very top. Right by the eye going down the shank. Go about maybe a third of the way. Okay, and regular loose biot. Put the first one in for the. I'm going to wrap him, doing a loose wrap. One of the first things I tie in, and I want him angled down. I want the angle going down. I want to tie a lot of them in. I don't want them coming loose. I want to keep it on top. There we go. So you pinch it just a little. We follow the biot all the way. Trying to make sure we can keep it on top. Okay. Now the next part of the tail has like these rounded parts come off of it on an angle. And they're right about where the tail comes in too. So what I want to do with these guys is try and do it on each side of the hook. So I'm going to thread it down and ball up the thread a little bit right here. I'm holding it on the side of the hook facing me first. And I want to make sure that the bend is going out. Okay, let's pull them right there. Same thing, just like the other one, keeping this on the side. Okay, I got the first one. Now, if we needed to go on more of an angle away from the body, so you can see what I have here, is I'm going to wrap it all the way. I'm going to take it and pull that thread into here and try and pull it tight. Be careful, don't break the thread. This will start to angle it away from the body. Okay, now I'm going to do the same thing with the other side. And it's all right if I'm starting to build up a little bit right in there, because this is where the tail's going to start anyway. So now I'm going to hold the biot on the other side. And this is my first time tying this, so bear with me. But I like using the biots a lot anyway. I like them when I do the tails on the hoppers, or especially on the crickets. I think that's right where I want it. So getting sure it's wrapped in nice and tight. And we're going to get them nice and even. So that's the effect I'm going for right there. All right. We're going to do the same thing toward the front. What we want to tie in now is I've got some, I can never say it, so I'm not going to whatever. Chenille. Okay, so what I want to do is tie this in. Tie this in nice. All the way back to the tail. Okay. Now I'm also going to tie in a piece of, oh, got a piece right here. Piece of wire. It's a copper wire. Loose. Get them on top. And I'm going to wrap them in all the way. All the way to here. Now what I'm trying to do is, I'm going to go opposite way, so I'm coming from underneath and over. So these, I'm going to tie this from underneath, and I want to get this as thin as I can right here when it first starts off, because remember, we're going for a carrot. Sometimes the only way you can do the carrot is overlay or thread to pull it down. So it's almost like doing a woolly booger. Okay, so from here, let's give this a couple wraps in here. More wraps on the other side. Okay. Okay, nice and easy. I want to go back, follow a rib, and I want to start flattening it out here. Just spacing it enough. Okay, so now I'm going to go the same way I tie now, the opposite direction. And I'm going to tie the nice pattern in here. The ribbed pattern all the way down. All the way to the copper head. Right. So we got that right there. So I'm going to take this off. Okay, my head slid a little bit forward here. It's all right. We'll fix that when we get to it. But as long as I got enough to grab only got enough to grab it. I'm okay. Okay. So we got him here. It's like the start about halfway up. So let's go back. You're going to thread back, go between the wire. I'm going to go about halfway. Okay, I'm going to take him off about here. Now, you know, maybe what I'd like to do is, they all seem to be, yeah, there's none of them really go forward. So I'm going to grab each one like this. Takes a little bit longer, but it's all right. Actually, I want the other side when I'm going back. There we go. So we do the same thing with this one. So let's come at it from this way. Couple wraps again. And let's do another one. Again, I want to do it from this way. It's different. Backwards, I'm used to tying them. Okay. Let's do another one on this side. Oh, this one's turned out to be fun. I never got to do the legs going just all one directions. Okay. Let's snip him off. I want to control these legs a little bit, so I want to make sure that they're not going too far, so I can take them too far back. Go right to run the thread. Right up to them. Okay, so let's do one more. Now these are just really little appendages on here, so I'm just going to come out right about like that. Okay, do the same thing here. Yeah, a little bit. I think it's kind of cool. Okay. These a little shorter so they all match. Come down a little bit. Okay, so I've got the little appendages in. Make sure it's all tied in. Okay, and the next thing I want to do is I want to get the front to the larger, almost like antennas on here. So I'm going to go right over the ball, I guess. Let me trim this back. When I'm putting a bite in my mouth and getting a little wet, it makes it so you can work with it so it's not so brittle. I'm going to let the ball form the antenna because it'll push it out. And what I might do is take a little resin in there, keep it going a little forward. So I can get it so it's more foul on the ball, which that's not easy to do. So it's not hard to do. So let's do that. Take a little bit here. Okay, so what I did is I just put a little resin on the bead itself. I'm going to take it, put this into the resin. I've already ran down the side. Okay. And there we go. Nice. So it formed on there. So let's do the same thing with another bite on the other side. Okay. Then we will get the body on there, a little more resin. Okay. This backwards. I'm going this way. And like this. Okay, just like before. Let's snip this off. Okay. Let's put a little okay. I'm gonna take this one down. And there we go. Okay, not unhappy. Okay, so we got his body formed up a little bit here. So used to working on it with an angle toward the camera. They got to be careful because I'll actually make my bug on an angle. Okay, so you got some legs here. You got some antenna. Make sure my legs aren't tied in or anything. So now what I got to do is I got to get this back, the thread all the way back to the tail again. Okay, so I'll do some nice easy wraps to cover the metal. And pin that tail down. And right to the base of the tail. Say hi. So I've got some clear Swiss straw. And I'm going to canoe it, so I'm not going to tear it all apart or try and make like I do a wing out. I want this to actually wrap around the body, giving him his outer shell. And what I'll do to hold it in place is I'll just do a little bead of super glue right up the body, all the way to the head. I want to be careful though. I don't want to do too much so super glue goes into the eye. I want it to lay on top of that metal. Okay, so I'm going to come back here. Okay, because what I want is I want to be able to see through it and see the copper from the top. So I'm going to wrap right before the copper, right after the copper. Go forward a little bit. You can just see it barely through the skin, right before, right after. Okay, let's go up again. Right after, behind the leg. Yeah, that's giving it a nice sheen look to it. Make sure I don't catch any of the legs. I would have never did this one today if it wasn't for the Facebook site asking saying, well, everybody submit one with a white in it. Kind of like that when you got projects. Okay, let's see. Pull that leg. Nope. But you know what? Let's get this a little forward. Get that leg to come up a little more. There we go. Okay. So you can see what it's doing is it's making a nice shell over the top, still leaving the fur part from the bottom, which is what we want. Okay, so we get up to the head. I'm going to wrap it. I'm going to get around this ball nice. It's kind of like what I do with the shrimp. Okay, let's see if we can get this to grab in front of the hook. Just like this. Really careful around the bite. I try not to crowd the hook, but the bead must have slid a little forward when I was tying it. So let's see where we're at now. And the bite just wants to get in the way. Okay, pull this off the hook. All right. So he's got two really little eyes. I'm gonna take a. Okay, almost done. Go ahead and whip this in. This is going to be interesting. Maybe I'll come back and whip it over the body instead, so I don't mess with those bites. A little later to see if I get this to lay on top. All right, now what I want to do to finish this guy off is I want to give this shell a nice coat of resin. Maybe I'll do a flow, not thick. Okay, so there's the flow. Open up a little bit. I want to kind of catch these bites in here too. Kind of protect them. There we go. All right, let's get them dry. He's definitely one I would put out in the sun for a little while. Pretty wild. Okay. What we got here is we got the three parts of the tail, two main antennae to define the body, three legs on each side. Kind of let me put it down here. Okay, that's in from that's the front. From underneath, from the silhouette, we've got three parts of the tail, the two antennae in the front. We got three legs on each side. We got a ribbed ribbed shape there and a carrot shaped body. So an orangish head, he's covered the whole top is covered with a shell. The bottom is a soft cloth, like a cloth on there.